Alright, hey guys, it's me again. I've been wondering what to do with this channel. I was looking for some more drama to report on, but that's not why we did those first few videos. It wasn't because we were looking for drama, it's just because I saw something that wasn't right and I wanted to talk about it. And I'm going to do that again here, but to do that I have to let you guys in on a little bit of information on me. I have worked law enforcement for over a decade in my time here in Australia. So when I see something like the murder of George Floyd, and yes, I used the word murder there, and this is coming from a law enforcement, at least ex-law enforcement person, I'm using the word murder. I've looked at what happened here. I've seen the footage. I've read the news reports, and there's no excuse for this at all. I fortunately haven't seen many people trying to defend it on Twitter, but I'm sure that those people are out there. So I just wanted to take a second just to let you guys know what I know as an ex-law enforcement official about things like this. And probably one of the earliest things they inform you about in the police academy, especially when you're doing restraining techniques, is something called positional asphyxia. Now, positional asphyxia is something that you see in two places. You see in police or military cases where someone has been restrained the wrong way, or you see in infants. Basically, the best way to describe it is someone is laying on their front. Generally there is a weight on their back. That's not really required for an infant though, but with a grown adult there's generally a weight on their back, and their chest can't fully expand, so they can't get enough air in. It also displaces oxygen in their body, and it actually poisons the body with CO2. So positional asphyxia doesn't always happen instantly. If you are held down the wrong way for a certain amount of time, you can go home, go to bed, and not wake up. There are two ways that positional asphyxia can take you out. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because this is what the police academy in Australia told me. And I can guarantee that every police academy in the world will tell their officers about positional asphyxia. Now, one of the arguments that I'm sure a lot of people have made, and it's one of the arguments that we used to hear back in the day. I know I'm so much older than I look. If you can talk, you can breathe. That's not the case. With positional asphyxia, you can be talking right up to the second that you die. So again, that was one of the things that was heard a lot. You'd be holding someone down on the ground, and they'd say, "I can't breathe," and you would hear, "If you can talk, you can breathe." It's not the case. And fortunately, I came through the police academy at a time where we already knew that, so I never had to see it firsthand. But I was trained. I was told stories from people that had been in these situations. He was telling us he couldn't breathe, and we're like, "Yes, you can." Shut up. Of course you can. You're talking to us. Next minute, dead. This is not something that you can get out of the police academy without knowing. You are shown restraints that look very much like what we saw on the TV in this George Floyd case. However, those restraint techniques, that controlling the neck, controlling the head, if you have someone on the ground and you control their neck and you can control their head, you can keep them on the ground with very limited force. For example, if I'm laying on the ground like this, right? If someone puts their hand on my cheek here and just pushes, I can't move my head. If I can't move my head, I am going to have a very hard time getting up. So yes, those sort of restraint techniques are employed, but they're employed for one reason and one reason only: to get the handcuffs on. Once the handcuffs are on, that person should be sat up against a wall to clear their airways so they can breathe. Worst case scenario, if they're still lashing out with their feet and head and trying to attack you, roll them onto their side. There's no reason to keep them face down with a weight on their back. So if you are having this fight on Twitter, if you're fighting the good fight, and you're hearing people use arguments like, if he could talk, he could breathe, or how were the police supposed to know? I am telling you, they knew. And I am telling you that every police officer knows about positional asphyxia. So do with that information what you will. I had seen it reported as a suffocation. It's not. It's an asphyxiation. It's different. So hopefully, if you were going off the articles and you were calling it a suffocation, well, now you know it's not. It's an asphyxiation of a positional nature, making it positional asphyxia. Most commonly affects infants and people that have been restrained, such as hogtied and things like that. And police officers are definitely trained to avoid it happening. So take it to Twitter. Do what you need to do. Bye.